Pupils Book, page 129. Activity 2. Read the list of products. What are they made of? List them. Some can be listed more than once. Then listen and check. 1.
Did you know that cotton comes from a plant? Processed into fabric, cotton is used to make clothes and sheets and other things like rugs and towels. Much of it is grown and harvested on special cotton farms around the world, in places like Europe, Africa, the Americas, Asia, and Australia.
2.
Did you know that rubber grows on trees? Rubber comes from a milky white liquid found in hevea trees in Brazil. It is used to make car tires, raincoats, boots, combs, balls, and even paints.
3.
About 13% of the earth is made of metal, which is a natural resource. Metal is found in the earth's crust. It's used to make tin foil, cola cans, cookers, and even planes. One country that provides a lot of metal is Australia.
4.
Used to make warm winter jumpers, scarves, and even blankets, wool comes from animals like sheep and is then made into yarn. More wool is produced in Australia than in any other country, and is followed by New Zealand and China. Some countries like Iceland and Norway are known for their beautiful woolen ski jumpers.
5.
Clay, a natural resource, is used to make dinnerware like plates and dishes, and decorative objects like flower pots. It's also used to make cat litter, floors, and driveways. Clay comes from the earth, and there are different kinds. One kind is even used to make high-quality dishes and is produced mainly in Brazil, the United Kingdom, and the United States.
Pupils Book, page 129. Activity 3. Listen. Where do the materials come from? Match. Two materials come from the same place. Listen again and check. 1.
Did you know that cotton comes from a plant? Processed into fabric, cotton is used to make clothes and sheets and other things like rugs and towels. Much of it is grown and harvested on special cotton farms around the world, in places like Europe, Africa, the Americas, Asia, and Australia.
2.
Did you know that rubber grows on trees? Rubber comes from a milky white liquid found in hevea trees in Brazil. It is used to make car tires, raincoats, boots, combs, balls, and even paints.
3.
About 13% of the earth is made of metal, which is a natural resource. Metal is found in the earth's crust. It's used to make tin foil, cola cans, cookers, and even planes. One country that provides a lot of metal is Australia.
4.
Used to make warm winter jumpers, scarves, and even blankets, wool comes from animals like sheep and is then made into yarn. More wool is produced in Australia than in any other country and is followed by New Zealand and China. Some countries like Iceland and Norway are known for their beautiful woolen ski jumpers.
5.
Clay, a natural resource, is used to make dinnerware like plates and dishes, and decorative objects like flower pots. It's also used to make cat litter, floors, and driveways. Clay comes from the earth, and there are different kinds. One kind is even used to make high-quality dishes and is produced mainly in Brazil, the United Kingdom and the United States.
Activity Book, page 107. Activity 6. Listen. What are the things? Number them in the order you hear them. Then write the names. Number 1.
This takes us from one place to another. You can travel very far in it. It's shiny and made mostly of metal.
Number 2.
These can be baggy or tight. They can be striped or plain or colourful. They are sometimes made of cotton.
Number 3.
This is a pretty thing, and we can use it every day. Some people make them with their hands and sell them at craft fairs. They come in all sizes and shapes and are good presents. Many of them are made of clay.
Number 4.
These are usually made of rubber. They come in a lot of colours. Sometimes they've got patterns on them. We play with these with our hands or feet.
Pupils Book, page 130. Activity 5. Listen and read. Where was pizza first made?
Help! My family and I are thinking about going to Italy for a holiday. We've only got 5 days to spend there, so we can't see everything. Where should we go?
Hi, Travelbug. You should definitely come to Tuscany. There's so much to do here, and everything is close by. Florence is the capital of Tuscany. It's known for its beautiful palaces, churches, and other buildings. Many of the most famous works of Renaissance art can be found here in the museums and galleries. You could spend 5 days just looking at the art in Florence. Siena is a beautiful medieval town. It's filled with incredible old buildings. If you've got time, go to the Palio di Siena, a medieval horse race that's held twice a year. It's attended by thousands of people, so be prepared.
Hey, Travelbug. If this is your first trip to Italy, you should definitely see Rome. The city is known for some of the most famous sights in the world. The Colosseum, the Pantheon, the Spanish Steps. The list goes on and on. Vatican City, the smallest country in the world, is located inside Rome too. And you can't leave Rome without seeing the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. The ceiling was painted by Michelangelo and is amazing. If you're in Rome, you could easily go on a quick trip down to Naples. It's been called the birthplace of pizza and is located on the beautiful Amalfi Coast. So you can enjoy your pizza while you sit and look out at the sea.
Ciao, Travelbug. Rome and Tuscany are nice, but for something really unique, try Venice. Venice is known around the world as a floating city. Most of its streets are filled with water. They're called canals. To get around Venice, you can take a water taxi. Some of the most beautiful buildings in the world were built in Venice. There's the Piazza San Marco, a beautiful city square next to St. Mark's Cathedral. This site is visited by thousands of people every year. You can find some unique souvenirs here too. You could get a necklace made of Murano glass. Or you could buy one of those famous masks from the Venice Carnival. The masks are known around the world. They're worn during celebrations at carnival time here. Venice really is an incredible place.
Activity Book, page 108. Activity 7. Listen and read. Then answer the questions.
Beach boy. My family is planning a holiday this year. I want to go somewhere warm and sunny. I'd love to spend a lot of time on a beautiful sandy beach. Hiking would be fun too. Where should we go?
Travel Tracy. Go to the island of Korčula, one of the islands in Croatia. Fun things to do and see can be found everywhere, and it's easy to visit other islands too. Korčula is known for its beautiful beaches and wonderful summer weather, but there are also places to go hiking and biking. Take time to walk around the historic fortified town of Korčula and photograph the amazing scenery. Go on a boat trip to the neighbouring islands and enjoy eating fresh seafood too. You will definitely enjoy a holiday on this great island.
Pupils Book, page 132. Activity 7. Listen and read. What new information does Sue find out about Costa Rica?
I can't wait. We're going to Costa Rica next week.
Costa Rica? I don't know much about that country.
Well, you've come to the expert. What do you know about it?
I know that it's in Central America.
It is. But can you guess what it's known for? A third of the country is made up of them.
I haven't got a clue.
It's rainforests. Lots of agricultural products come from there too. In fact, that banana you're eating was probably grown there.
This banana? How do you know?
Read the sticker on it.
Costa Rica. You're so clever.
Pupils Book, page 132. Activity 9. Listen and match. Then complete the labels with words from the box. 1.
Wow, this is an amazing jumble sale.
Yes, we've got families from all around the world in our neighbourhood, so you'll see things from all over.
Look, this game looks like fun. It's beautiful too. The game board is made of beautiful carved wood, and it looks like the game is played with these polished stones.
You're right. It's a Mancala game and comes from Africa. Look, this one was actually made in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's interesting. What's it called again?
Mancala. It's one of the oldest games in the world. We used to play it when I was a child. But our game looked a little different. It was played with an egg carton and some big seeds.
2.
Oh, look at this lantern. It would look great in my room. Where are these from?
They're from China. The Chang family is selling them. This one is a sample. As you can see, each lantern is made of paper and metal. Look, here's one in the box.
Oh, so it has to be put together?
Yes, but it's easy. Here, let me show you. See, the metal frame inside is pushed out like this. Just be careful you don't tear the paper.
But where's the light?
Oh, a cord and light bulb for it are sold separately. They're over there. Anyway, the cord is placed like this, the bulb is attached, and then it's plugged in. And there's your lantern.
Lovely.
3.
Maybe I can find something for my sister here. Her birthday is next week.
I'm sure you can. That table over there has got a lot of handmade cotton blouses. They're made in Hungary.
It looks like they are embroidered by hand. They're beautiful.
Look, Margaret is wearing one. See how it's worn? The strings are pulled and tied in the front. It looks pretty.
My sister would love it. But look, the one that I like is torn.
I'm sure it can be fixed. These are second-hand clothes. Let's ask Margaret's mother if it can be repaired.
Good idea.
4.
These jumble sales are so interesting. Let's have a look, okay?
Yes, certainly. Look at this table. It's got everything for making and drinking tea. Teapots, teacups, tea caddies, tea strainers, tea kettles, teaspoons, and even a tea holder made of silver.
So these things are all used for making tea? Amazing! That one is beautiful. It looks old. Maybe it's an antique.
Do you mean that fancy one that's made of metal? There's a note here about it. Let's see. It says it was made in Morocco. The tea or coffee was often poured from high up, so it made a long stream into the cup. And look, here's a picture of how it was done. This looks so interesting.
Yes. How much is it?
Not much, just €25.
Oh, I suppose it's not an antique.
No, I suppose not.
Activity Book, page 109. Activity 8. Listen and read. Then circle T for true and F for false.
Maybe I can find something for my sister here. It's her birthday next week.
I definitely think you can. That table over there has stacks of handmade cotton blouses. They're made in Hungary.
They're beautiful.
Look, Margaret's wearing one. See how it's worn? The strings are pulled and tied in the front. It's a nice look.
My sister would love it. But look, the one that I like is torn.
I'm sure it can be mended. Look, the sign says, "These are all second-hand clothes." Let's ask Margaret's mum if it can be repaired.
Brilliant idea.
Pupils Book, page 134. Activity 14. Listen and read. How do people eat any food all year round? From the farm to your plate.
Imagine you're at a restaurant. You order a salad with beautiful green lettuce, nice red tomatoes, yellow peppers and cucumber. When it comes, you can't wait to take that first bite. But stop for a moment and think about how long it actually took to get to your plate. Not from the kitchen, but from the farm. Let's take a look at a typical salad served in the United Kingdom. Fresh food, such as the lettuce, might be grown locally. But what about the other foods on your plate? Nowadays, the country of origin of most of our fresh produce, that's the place where it was grown, is thousands of kilometres away. It was picked, washed, packed, and brought to a distribution centre halfway around the world before it travelled to a store near you. So food which looks fresh has actually travelled in a refrigerated van for a week. But that isn't the only problem. Food needs transportation, and all forms of transportation cause air pollution. The farther food travels, the more petrol and diesel fuel are used. The more pollution is released into the air we breathe. Shipping fresh produce can add up to 45 times more pollution to the air. There is a solution, however. We can stop eating imported foods and buy fresh produce grown locally instead. The lettuce picked yesterday at a local farm will taste a lot better. It'll also be healthier. Eating locally grown produce also means that you eat more variety. We forget that different fruits and vegetables grow in different seasons. They're seasonal. That means we can't eat fresh summer fruit and vegetables in winter, but we really shouldn't anyway. Do you shop at your local farmer's market or fresh produce stand? You should try it. Next time you order a salad, ask where the produce was grown. You'll be able to tell what's fresh. You'll also get an idea of the pollution it has caused.
Activity Book, page 112. Activity 16. Read and complete with the words from the box. Then listen and check. Farmers' markets and our future.
Where does your family buy fresh fruit and vegetables from? Do you go to a supermarket or do you go to a farmer's market? All over the world, farmers gather on specific days in specific places, like a park or car park, to sell their produce directly to customers. Their produce is fresh, often picked just the day before. It's also seasonal, which means that in summer you can buy only summer fruits and vegetables, and in winter you can buy only winter fruits and vegetables. Some farmers' markets have also got live entertainment, like singers and musicians, and sell things other than produce, like crafts made by local people. So they can be a great place to find and buy presents for people and just to have fun. Shopping at a farmer's market can be a good thing to do. Here's why. A. You can meet local farmers and learn about their produce. You can find out what's in season, and some farmers may give advice on how to prepare and cook their produce. B. Locally grown food is very fresh. It hasn't been stored or refrigerated for long, and it hasn't been transported far, so every bite tastes good. C. The food doesn't have to travel a long distance from the farm to a distribution centre and then to you. It goes only a short distance from the farm to you. This results in less pollution and helps keep the environment clean. D. Buying from local farmers can help the environment in other ways too. When farmers don't make enough money to live on, they're often obliged to sell their farms to land developers. The developers build houses and buildings on the farmland. More houses may cause more pollution and greater demands on natural resources like rivers, lakes and forests in the area. E. A typical farm is a beautiful place. It's got fields, meadows, woods and ponds. It provides homes for animals like rabbits, birds and deer. So if the farm disappears, the animals may have nowhere to live, and you may have nowhere to go to enjoy nature's beauty. Next time your mum buys vegetables, think about asking her to go to a local farmer's market. You'll have a fun time and you'll support your local community as well.
Pupils Book, page 136, Activity 19. Look, listen and read. Where have the coffee beans been?
There are coffee producers in Indonesia whose coffee is more expensive and better than any other coffee in the world. Kopi Luwak. People who drink this coffee say it's wonderful. However, the place where it's actually made isn't very nice. Kopi Luwak is made from coffee beans which have been inside a civet's stomach. Coffee cherries are fed to the civet. Then the coffee producer waits for the moment when the civet needs the toilet and collects the waste. The Kopi Luwak coffee beans are found in the waste, untouched. The coffee drinkers that choose Kopi Luwak pay about €50 for each cup.
Pupils Book, pages 138 and 139. Activity 27. Listen and read. Check your answers in 26. Write the countries where each object comes from. Where did it really come from?
Think of spaghetti, and Italy comes to mind. How about French fries? Well, you shouldn't think of France, because that isn't where they really come from. Fries are called French, but they were actually first made in Belgium. The Belgians used to eat small fried river fish, but when the river froze in the winter, they fried small pieces of potato instead. The Spanish introduced the potato to the Belgians from South America. The French didn't eat potatoes until much later because they thought them poisonous. In China, People have been making noodles since 3000 BC. The Italian explorer Marco Polo brought noodles to Europe in the 13th century. This became spaghetti. Thomas Jefferson brought spaghetti to the US from France in the 1700s. What are the origins of some everyday household objects? The Chinese gave us fireworks, but Englishmen invented the match. Robert Boyle found a way to make fire by mixing phosphorus and sulphur. In 1827, John Walker used this chemical combination to create a match. It was 1 meter long. A German engineer discovered the process of refrigeration. Carl von Linde discovered that if you combine special gases, they stay cold. He made the first fridges in Dublin, Ireland in 1894. Fridges today keep our food fresh. What about novelties like sunglasses or jigsaw puzzles? For centuries, Chinese judges wore smoke-coloured glasses, but they weren't for protection. They hid the judges' eyes in court so no one could guess their thoughts. The idea for the jigsaw puzzle came from John Spilsbury in 1767. He was a teacher who wanted to teach his students geography. He glued a map of England and Wales to a flat piece of wood. Then he cut out the map along county borders. After mixing up the pieces, his students made the map puzzle. The jigsaw puzzles which we see today were invented about 100 years later. So, are you sure about an object's origins? The label might say one thing, but the idea probably came from somewhere else.
Activity Book, page 116, Activity 25. Listen and read. Why do people invent things? Problems and inventions.
All over the world, there are objects that people use and things people do which have been invented. Why do people invent things? Where do ideas for inventions come from? There's a saying that necessity is the mother of invention. This means that people invent things because there's a problem and they want to solve the problem. Let's read about two very different things that were invented to solve two very different problems. In 1912, American engineer Otto Frederick Roeder had an idea. He wanted to invent a machine that could slice a whole loaf of bread. He built his first bread slicer in 1917, but it was destroyed in a fire. In 1927, he had enough money to build another one. But he realised he had a problem. The bread became stale after it was cut. He then had another idea, and he built a bread slicer that sliced the bread and then wrapped it so that it wouldn't get stale so quickly. So the next time you see a loaf of sliced bread, think about Otto Frederick Roeder's invention and how useful it is to us every day. Have you ever heard of a game called hacky sack? It's also known as footbag. The hacky sack, or the footbag, is a novelty item that was invented by John Stuhlberger and Mike Marshall. In 1972, Mike Marshall made a small beanbag and kicked it in the air with his foot for fun. That same year, John Stuhlberger had knee surgery. His knee exercises after surgery were boring, so he looked for a more fun way to exercise. He and Mike shared ideas, and the game of hacky sack was born. Now there's a great way to put an old beanbag to good use. Why don't you organise a game of hacky sack or footbag with your friends in the park? You can even play it indoors on a rainy day. Society needs inventors. Our lives are better because inventors are problem solvers. Many of them solve everyday problems by inventing something useful we can use or do. Think of a problem in your home or at your school. Could you invent something to solve it?
Pupils Book, page 142, Activity 39. Listen, read and repeat. 1.
Ulf. Ulf.
2.
Ulp. Ulp.
3.
Ulm. Ulm.
Pupils Book, page 142, Activity 40. Listen and blend the sounds. 1.
Ulf. Golf.
2.
Ulp. Help.
3.
Film.
4.
Ulf. Elf.
5.
Elm.
Pupils Book, page 142, Activity 41. Listen and chant.
School clubs are fun clubs, golf clubs, film clubs and best of all help others clubs.
Unit 9. How adventurous are you? Pupils Book, page 144. Activity 1. Have you ever wondered about the food you eat? Read the fun facts about food. Guess the correct answers. Then listen and check. 1.
Refried beans are fried once.
2.
The first soup was probably hippopotamus soup.
3.
The ingredient that makes one popular junk food pop in your mouth is carbon dioxide.
4.
Ice cream is actually Chinese food.
5.
Blueberries may help your memory.
Pupils Book, page 145. Activity 2. Choose 2 adjectives from the box to describe each food. Then listen and check.
Here we are at the International Food Festival. We're going to see how adventurous some people are about food. At our booth, we've got unusual foods from around the world. Right now, we're giving out free samples of appetizers. We're going to ask people to choose one and let you hear their responses.
Would you like to try this cold soup from Spain, or would you rather try this hot soup from China?
I've had gazpacho at a restaurant once, but this gazpacho is really delicious. I can taste the cilantro. I can taste the coriander.
Gazpacho? It's too spicy for me.
Cold soup? I don't think so. I'd rather try the hot soup, please.
What's it called? Hot and sour? What's it made of? Oh, I love tofu.
It's too sour for me. It tastes too different.
Next, we're serving some seafood appetizers.
Would you like to try this traditional Japanese dish, Or would you rather try this wonderful Greek dish?
Oh, that's sushi. Sushi is made of raw fish. No, thank you.
What's it made of? Octopus? No, thanks. I'd rather have the salmon.
Ew, that octopus tastes terrible.
I've never tried sushi before. It's delicious.
I love the taste of that. It's octopus. Well, it is tasty.
And next are two traditional main dishes.
Would you like to try this traditional dish from Morocco, or would you rather try this popular one from India?
What's it called? Tagine? Oh, it's way too spicy for me. I've never really liked spicy food.
I love this tagine. It's made with meatballs and sauce. Really good.
Chicken tandoori. It's too spicy for me. I'd rather have the tagine.
The tandoori is delicious. I love it. I'll have to remember that.
I've eaten lamb before, but I'm not fond of it. But I'll try that tagine. It's unusual, that's for sure. Oh, it tastes really good.
And finally, two popular desserts.
Would you like to try this popular dessert from Italy? Or would you rather try this traditional one from the Philippines?
Oh, I love the different flavours in this. What's it called again? Spumoni. I can taste fruit in it too.
I love how that one looks. What's it called? Oh, buko pandan. It's too pretty to eat.
I'll try that one too. Oh, the coconut is delicious. I've always loved tropical flavours.
Spumoni for me, please. It's so sweet and delicious.
I have a new favourite dessert, buko pandan.
Activity book, page 120. Activity 1. Listen and match. Write the number. Number 1.
Marinated octopus is a traditional seafood from Greece. The octopus is left in olive oil, lemon juice and herbs for a short time. It's delicious.
Number 2.
Tandoori chicken is a popular traditional dish from India. It is made with chicken and spices like pepper and curry. It tastes hot and spicy.
Number 3.
This Filipino dessert is called buko pandan. It looks pretty and it's got a wonderful sweet taste.
Number 4.
Chinese soup has got tofu in it. It's hot and sour. It's got a very unusual taste.
Activity book, page 121. Activity 4. Listen and tick the words you hear for each food. 1.
This is a traditional tasty dish from Spain. It's called gazpacho and it's eaten cold. It is spicy but delicious.
2.
This is a popular traditional dish from Japan called sushi. It's made with raw fish, rice and seaweed. It's got an unusual taste.
3.
This is a traditional main dish from Morocco. It's called tagine. It's made of meatballs and sauce. It is a hot, spicy dish that is very tasty.
4.
This is a delicious sweet dessert from Italy called spumoni. It's got fruit in it.
Pupils Book, page 146. Activity 4. Listen and read. Where is ugali a local food? High Adventure at High Altitudes by Phil Stedman.
Explorer Gilda Navarro updates us on her attempt to climb the 7 summits, the highest mountain on each of the world's 7 continents.
Good morning, Gilda. Thanks so much for talking to us today. I know you're busy preparing for your next mountain adventure.
Of course, Phil. It's always a pleasure. I could use a break anyway.
You certainly have been busy over the last 2 years.
Yes, you could say that.
For our listeners who may not know, over the last 2 years you've climbed 6 of the world's 7 tallest mountains. That's amazing for such a short period of time. I get tired just thinking about it.
My dad always says I've got a lot of energy.
That's certainly true. When we last spoke, you were getting ready to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. What was it like?
That was a great one. Well, they've all been great. Mount Kilimanjaro isn't the highest of the 7 summits. It's actually number 4. It's 5,895 metres high, and it's located in Tanzania.
I see. How long did it take you to climb it?
It took me and my team a full 7 days to climb that one.
Wow. What did you eat during the climb? Was it local Tanzanian food?
Not really. We had pasta, rice dishes, normal things.
So the food wasn't as adventurous as the climb, was it?
Oh, we had a lot of delicious local food after we got back. There's a tasty Tanzanian food called ugali. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't. Is it spicy?
No, ugali is quite plain by itself. It's made of corn. It looks a little like mashed potatoes. You roll up some ugali in a ball and you dip it in stew.
That sounds like good comfort food.
Yes, I've tried different kinds of food everywhere. I'm pretty adventurous about food, I think.
What about your next climb?
We're getting ready for our last mountain, and we've saved the best for last.
Mount Everest?
That's right. It'll take us a few weeks to climb Everest.
Is that because it's so high?
Well, yes. To climb Mount Everest, you have to stop at several different places and let your body get used to the altitude. If you don't, you'll be in big trouble.
I bet. I've got one more question. Imagine you had to choose from one of these: going mountain climbing or going on an all-expenses-paid trip to a gorgeous tropical beach. Which one would you rather do?
That's the world's easiest question. I'd rather go mountain climbing. There's nothing better.
Spoken like a true adventurer. Gilda, thank you for spending time with us. Good luck with that last summit.
Thanks so much. It was fun talking to you.
Activity Book, page 122. Activity 6. Listen and read, then answer the questions. Life on a boat.
11-year-old Glenn Dodd has lived on a boat with his family for the past 2 years. A local radio station is interviewing him.
Today on Awesome Adventures, we're talking to 11-year-old Glenn Dodd. Glenn's family has lived on a boat and has travelled around Australia for the last 2 years. Tell me, Glenn, what's it like living on a boat?
Well, in the beginning it was really hard. There are 4 people in my family and a dog. The boat is small, so we were always very close to each other.
Wow, I'm sure that was tough sometimes.
Yes, we had to learn to get along, or my dad said he'd throw us into the sea.
That would make me behave too. What do you like the most about life on a boat?
Well, probably all the new things I can try.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, I've eaten alligator meat a few times, and I've scuba dived with stingrays. That was a bit scary.
I can imagine it was. Now tell me, after 2 years, would you rather live on a boat or in a house?
Honestly, I really want to live in a house now, like my friends. Actually, my family has decided to go back home next month, so Soon I'm going to be a land creature again.
Well, good luck, Glenn. That's all the time we have. Thanks again for sharing your story.
Pupils Book, page 148. Activity 6. Listen and read. Why is Abigail really going to go to the concert with her dad?
Abigail, there's a concert down at the Arts Centre this weekend. Do you want to go?
What kind of concert?
It's classical music. You know, Mozart, Beethoven.
Classical music? No thanks. I'd rather stay at home.
Come on. Have you ever been to a classical music concert?
Well, no, I haven't, but I don't think I'd like it.
That's a pity, because the Arts Centre is giving free Boys Town concert tickets to the first 25 people who come that night.
What? The Boys Town concert? I think I've changed my mind.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, Dad, I've never been to a classical music concert before. I might like it. Let's make sure we get there early, OK?
Pupils Book, page 148. Activity 8. Listen and match. Then complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb from the box. 1.
Jason, do you want to play some video games at my house after school today?
I'd like to, Sam, but I don't know. My mum wants me to do something outside. I'm inside too much.
I know what we can do. Let's go skateboarding in the park.
You know, it's funny, but I've never learned how to skateboard.
Really? I've got an extra one. I can teach you.
That'd be great. See you at the park after school.
2.
How about doing something interesting this weekend?
Certainly, Claire. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Have you ever been to the Natural History Museum?
No, I haven't. But I'd rather do something more exciting.
Like what?
I don't know. Do you want to go to the new water park?
Oh yes, the water park. Believe it or not, I've never been to a water park before.
You're joking. That's what we'll do then. How about Saturday afternoon?
No. Let's go at 9 o'clock in the morning, when it opens.
3.
Hello, Barry. Where are you going?
I'm going to the International Food Festival at the Community Centre, Sally. Do you want to come?
Yes, that sounds like fun. What kind of food do they have?
They have all kinds of food from all over the world. It's really nice. Have you ever tried Thai food? It's my favourite.
No, I haven't. It's really spicy, isn't it?
Well, some of it is cooked with spices like curry, but not everything. And it's really delicious.
Great. I'd really like to try it.
I love it. I'm sure you'll like it too.
4.
Hi, Roberto. Do you want to do something on Saturday afternoon?
That sounds like a good idea, Ali. But I've got a lesson on Saturday.
You have to go to school on Saturday?
Yes, I'm learning Chinese.
Chinese? Really?
Yes, it's really fun. Have you ever studied another language?
I studied English when my family first moved here to the UK, but I've never studied another language.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and I'm learning a lot. I can say so many things in Chinese already.
That's good. How do you say hello in Chinese?
Ni hao, Ali.
Activity Book, page 123. Activity 7. Listen. Then circle the correct answers.
Hi, Roberto. Let's do something on Saturday afternoon.
That sounds good, Ali. But I have a lesson on Saturday.
You have lessons on Saturdays?
Yes, I'm learning Chinese.
Chinese? Really?
Yes, it's really interesting. Have you ever studied another language?
Well, I can speak English and Spanish, but I've never studied another language.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm learning a lot. I can say so many things in Chinese already.
That's amazing. How do you say hello in Chinese?
Ni hao, Ali.
Hola, Roberto.
Pupils Book, page 150. Activity 12. Listen and read. What happens when you're scared? Fight or flight?
Have you ever watched a scary film and felt like your heart was going to jump out of your chest? If so, then you were probably feeling the effects of adrenaline. Adrenaline is an important hormone which is produced by your body. Hormones give important information to different cells. When you get scared, your body sends out adrenaline in order to get itself ready to fight something scary or to run away from it. That's why adrenaline is sometimes called the fight or flight hormone. The release of adrenaline in your body gives you an extra boost of energy. Blood rushes to your muscles, so your heart starts beating quickly. Air moves rapidly into your lungs, so you breathe quickly and send oxygen around your body faster. These are normal reactions to fear or stress. What's happening in this situation? This reaction lasts a short period of time. It's just long enough to make you feel stronger and faster and help you deal with a difficult situation. Your body has tried to protect you. Humans have felt the effects of adrenaline since prehistoric times. Probably the first practical discovery took place when man saw a saber-toothed tiger for the first time. He didn't think, he just ran. However, the official discovery of adrenaline was only made in 1900. But since even before that, there have been many stories of people who have used superhuman strength to save another person's life. We feel the effects of adrenaline on a day-to-day basis. In most cases, though, the effect is not so dramatic. For example, imagine you're riding on your bike and someone steps out in front of you. Quick! What do you do? Your brain makes a fast decision to get out of the way, and the release of adrenaline helps your body move more quickly. So, next time you ride a roller coaster, watch a scary film, or get nervous before a race, pay attention to how your body reacts. You'll probably be feeling the effects of adrenaline at work.
Activity Book, page 126. Activity 15. Listen and read. Why do some people race motorbikes at very high speeds? Extreme sports.
Many people exercise to relax and to release stress. Sports like walking, swimming and yoga are good ways to relax. But other people like sports that are exciting and may even be dangerous, like motorcar racing, skiing and rock climbing. These people love the feel of adrenaline rushing through their bodies, giving them that extra boost of energy. Adrenaline is a hormone that our adrenal glands produce when we're excited, afraid or angry. The information it gives our cells causes our heart to beat faster. This means more oxygen in our blood. The sudden boost of this hormone is called an adrenaline rush. Let's read about two extreme sports that give people an adrenaline rush.
Free riding.
Free riding is like big wave surfing on snow. Skiers go to the top of a very high, steep mountain and ski down it. There are no paths for them to follow. They just follow the natural paths down the mountain. Where does the adrenaline rush come from? They go down the mountain very, very fast because the slopes that they ski down are very steep. Some slopes are almost at 90 degrees to the ground. They also fly in the air in some places over rock-covered snowy cliffs. Now that sounds very exciting, doesn't it?
Motorbike racing.
All over the world there are people who enjoy motorbike riding. Some people travel across continents on motorbikes because they find it fun and it relieves stress. But others are not interested in relaxing. They want an adrenaline rush. So they race motorbikes at very high speeds. They ride around a track at up to 300 kilometres per hour. When they go around a corner, they lean over so that their knees nearly touch the ground, and they do that at about 200 kilometres per hour. That's fast. So, do you exercise to relax, or do you take part in things to get that adrenaline rush?
Pupils Book, page 152. Activity 17. Look, listen and read. What has Harry forgotten to do?
Come on, Harry. I've known you since primary school. You've wanted to do a bungee jump since you were 10. You've saved all your pocket money for 6 months. The people in line have waited patiently for almost an hour. Are you going to jump, or have you changed your mind?
No, I haven't. I'm going to jump. I haven't eaten since 9 o'clock, and I'm really hungry now.
Great. See you at the cafe when you get down. Bye.
Jennifer! I've forgotten to take my money out of my pocket.
Pupils Book, pages 154 and 155. Activity 25. Listen and read. Why is it called High Adventure? High Adventure.
We have done extreme activities for centuries. Many of today's extreme sports have their roots in history. Many cultures have encouraged extreme examples of strength or daring. Let's look at some extreme sports.
1. Cliff diving.
Competitive divers dive off boards that are between 3 and 10 metres high. But what about diving off the side of a cliff? The La Quebrada cliff divers are professional cliff divers. They dive into the sea from a height of 38 metres, head first. There has been a group of professional La Quebrada cliff divers since 1934. However, there are even earlier examples of cliff diving from Lanai, Hawaii. As early as 1770, local warriors used to throw themselves into the sea to show courage and get the girls.
2. Base jumping.
Have you ever wanted to fly? Stories of tower jumps exist before the flying machine. The earliest recorded jump dates from 852 AD. Armand Furman jumped from a tower in Córdoba, Spain, covered in feathers. Base jumping is today's tower jumping, only from much higher buildings. Base jumpers begin by standing at the top of a very high place. Base stands for buildings, antennas, spans, bridges, and earth, cliffs. They then take a free jump down using a small parachute to slow their fall. Base jumping has been very popular in Norway, where you can find the Troll Wall. It's the highest cliff point in Europe, 1,100 metres high. However, since Carl Bonisch, the father of base jumping, was killed there in 1984, The Norwegian government has banned jumping from it.
3. Tightrope walking.
The Frenchman, Charles Blondin, was the first acrobat to walk a tightrope across Niagara Falls. He crossed the Rainbow Bridge in 1859. Today, the Flying Wallander family are aerialists who do tricks high up in the air. In 2012, Nick Wallander did a 548-metre tightrope walk across the falls on a tightrope that was only 5 centimetres wide in only 25 minutes. Some people love taking extreme risks. Would you try?
Activity book, page 130. Activity 24. Read and complete with the words from the box. Then listen and check. Record-breaking teenagers.
All around the world, there are teenagers who do amazing things at home, at school, or on the sports field. But some teenagers take enormous risks and break records in the world of extreme sports. Let's read about 2 record-breaking teenagers who set out to achieve and succeed in reaching their amazing goals. Jordan Romero is a professional climber who, as a teenager, climbed 7 of the highest and most challenging mountains on 7 continents. He climbed his first mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, in 2006 when he was 10 years old. He's the youngest person in the world to do this. In 2011, when he was 15 years old, he climbed the last of the 7 mountains, a mountain in Antarctica. Jordan, who lives in California, wants to help other teenagers reach their goals, so he started a group called Find Your Everest. In 2012, a Dutch teenager, Laura Dekker, became the youngest person to sail around the world on her own. Laura has been on or near water all her life. She was born on a boat, got her first boat when she was 6 years old, and at 8 began dreaming about sailing around the world. At 10 years old, she got her second boat, Guppy, and at just 15, she set off on her long trip. A year and a day later, she achieved her goal. She was just 16 years old. When Laura finished the trip and got off her boat, her mother, father, sister, grandparents and many cheering fans greeted her.
Pupils Book, page 158. Activity 34. Listen, read and repeat. 1.
Ft, ft.
2.
Kt, kt.
3.
Mp, mp.
4.
Sk, sk.
Pupils Book, page 158. Activity 35. Listen and blend the sounds. 1.
Left, left.
2.
Fact, fact.
3.
Camp.
4.
Risk, risk.
5.
Raft, raft.
6.
U, a, m, p. Lamp.
Pupils Book, page 158. Activity 36. Listen and chant.
It's a fact that sailing at night on a raft without a lamp is a risk.
Checkpoint, Unit 7 to 9. Pupils Book, page 161. Activity 2. Get ready. A. Complete the dialogue using the statements from the box. Then listen and check.
Hi, Madeline. What kind of restaurant would you rather go to tonight? Polish or Korean?
I don't know. I've tried Polish food, but I've never had Korean food.
Oh, really? I've had it before.
What's it like?
It's delicious. It's known for its spicy flavours, and it usually comes with rice.
Sounds interesting. Do you use chopsticks to eat it?
Yes, a lot of Korean dishes are eaten with both chopsticks and a spoon. But Korean chopsticks are different from other ones.
In what way?
Some of them are made out of metal.
Really? That's interesting too.
So, what do you think? Polish or Korean?
I'd rather try something new tonight. Let's go to the Korean place.
Unit 7 to 9. Exam preparation. Pupils Book, page 164. Listening, Part 4. Listen and write. There is one example.
Hi, Uncle Pete. Can I ask you some questions, please? It's for my homework.
Yes, of course, Vicky. What is your homework about?
It's about shops and restaurants in town. I wanted to ask you because you work in a restaurant.
Yes, I've worked there for a long time now. It's a very popular restaurant. What would you like to know?
Well, first, where is the restaurant?
It's opposite the rug factory.
Is it? I went there with Mum last winter. Let me write it down.
Can you see the answer? Now you listen and write.
What's the address of the restaurant, Uncle Pete?
Let's see. It's 48 Park Street.
OK. And what is the name of the restaurant?
It's called the Cheyne Restaurant. That's Cheyne.
And what kind of food do you cook there?
Well, every day of the week we make food from a different country. So on Monday it's French food and on Tuesday it's always traditional English food.
I see. And is the restaurant open every day of the week?
Oh yes. We open at 12 o'clock most days and we close at 11:30 in the evening. On Sundays we open late at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just one more question. What's the most unusual food that you cook in the restaurant?
The most unusual food? It's sweet and spicy banana cake. It's delicious.
Really?
Yes, it's my favourite. Would you like some? I've got some in the kitchen.
Now listen again. Activity Book, page 146. Young Learners English Practice Flyers. Listening, A. Listen and draw lines. There is one example.
Wow, what's going on?
The school is having a fundraising event. All the children are helping.
Look, there's Robert.
Where?
He's on the stage doing karate.
Which one is he?
He's the one in the front.
He must be the leader.
Yes, he is. He's very good at karate.
Can you see the line? This is an example. Now you listen and draw lines.
A band is getting ready to play.
Yes, and look, Peter's going to play the drums.
I thought Peter played the trumpet.
He does, but he also plays the drums.
Oh, let's go and say hi to Michael.
Where is he?
He's over there with his sister. They're selling T-shirts.
Let's go. Who knows, I might buy one myself.
It's for a good cause. All the money goes to the school.
And look, Emma's here too.
What's she doing?
She's selling cupcakes.
She was selling cupcakes.
Why did you say was selling?
I think she's just sold the last one.
You're right.
Before we leave, I want to see Katie. She's over there drawing people's pictures.
I've got an idea. We could ask Katie to draw a picture of us.
Brilliant! That'll be a great souvenir. Oh, and by the way, Richard asked us to do something.
What?
He wants us to help him with the car wash.
I don't even know Richard.
Yes, you do.
Who is he?
Do you see all those children washing the car?
Yes.
Richard's the one in the red T-shirt. Well, shall we go and help them?
Of course.
Good. The more people, the better.
Now listen again. Activity book, page 147. Young Learners English Practice Flyers. Listening B. Listen and write. There is one example.
Greenfields Camp, how can I help you?
Hello. My children would like to go to summer camp. I'm calling to get some basic information. Can I ask a few questions?
Of course.
First of all, can you tell me where the camp is?
Certainly. It's in the Peak District.
I'm going to write this down in my notebook.
Take your time.
Can you see the answer? This is an example. Now you listen and write. 1.
What kinds of activities do you offer?
Well, the camp is by a river, so the most popular activities are swimming and kayaking.
Is it safe?
Oh, yes, it's very safe. We've never had an accident.
2.
How long does each summer camp last?
It lasts for 2 weeks. There are 3 camps in the summer.
And each one lasts for 2 weeks?
Yes, that's right.
3.
How much does it cost?
It's €150 per child.
Are there any other costs?
No, everything is included.
4.
When does the next camp begin?
Well, it's the end of July now. We've just finished the first camp.
So the next one starts in August?
Yes, and it's filling up fast.
5.
What do the children need to bring with them?
They need to bring clothes and a sleeping bag.
Should they bring sunscreen?
Yes, sunscreen and insect repellent are a good idea.
OK, thank you for all the information.
It's a pleasure. Have a nice afternoon.
You too. Goodbye.
Now listen again. Activity book, page 148. Young Learners English Practice Flyers. Listening C. What do the Martins and the Browns like to do? Listen and write a letter in each box. There is one example.
Hello, Mrs. Martin. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Brown. I'm fine, thank you. I'm just looking at some of my holiday photos.
Where did you go on your holiday?
We went to Corsica. Oh, it was great. I went skydiving for the first time. It was so exciting.
Can you see the letter C? This is an example. Now you listen and write a letter in each box.
What else did you do on your holiday?
We went to some lovely craft fairs. My daughter Kelly had a jewellery making lesson at one of the craft fairs. She loved it. See this necklace? She made it.
Wow, that's very pretty. What else did you do while you were there?
We went hiking and camping in the mountains. Oh, it was so beautiful, and it was good exercise too. My son David loves hiking. How about you, Mr. Brown? Did you go on holiday anywhere this summer?
No, we just stayed here. But we did a lot of fun things at the weekends. I went fishing on the lake a lot.
That sounds nice. Did your son go with you?
No, he didn't. John played football most of the summer, and he had to go to practice every weekend while I was fishing.
How about Cindy?
Cindy's doing pottery lessons this summer. She's really enjoying it.
That sounds wonderful. Well, tell your family I said hello.
I will. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Now listen again. Activity Book, page 150. Young Learners English Practice, Flyers. Listening, D. Listen and colour, then draw and write. There is one example.
Hello, Richard. Would you like to colour this picture?
Yes, I would. It's a family in a hotel.
That's right. They're on holiday and they've just arrived in their hotel room. What would you like to colour first?
One of the suitcases, I think.
There are 2 suitcases, one on the children's bed and one next to the parents' bed. Colour the parents' suitcase.
OK, I'll colour it blue.
Can you see the parents' blue suitcase? This is an example. Now you listen and colour, then draw and write. 1.
What should I colour next?
Let's see. Can you see someone wearing a scarf?
Yes, the boy. He's sitting on the bed.
Do you want to colour his scarf?
Yes, I'll colour it red.
OK.
2.
Can you see the girl?
Yes, she's holding a jumper. Do you want me to colour her jumper?
No, I want you to write the word jumper on it, please.
3.
Would you like to draw something now?
Yes, please. I'm quite good at drawing.
OK. Can you see a vase of flowers?
Yes, I can see it. It's near the window.
Good. Draw another vase of flowers like that one, please, on the table next to the chair.
4.
OK. Shall I draw something else?
No, we're going to colour some more now. The mum is combing her hair. Can you colour her hair, please?
OK, I'll colour it brown.
Very good.
5.
This is the last one. There are 2 pairs of shoes near the door.
Yes, one pair is smaller than the other.
Yes, it is. Colour the bigger pair of shoes black, please.
OK, is that all?
Yes. It looks very nice. Thank you.
Now listen again.